After months of theories, emotional breakdowns, and one of the darkest atmospheres we've seen in a K-drama this year, the Scarecrow finally came to an end. And honestly, I still can't decide whether the ending completely satisfied me or emotionally destroyed me. This drama spent so much time building mystery, trauma, and moral frustration that fans expected a huge payoff in the finale. Some viewers loved how realistic and bittersweet it felt, while others were left angry because not every wound truly healed. So today, let's talk about 7 major conflict resolutions in the Scarecrow ending and whether this finale actually delivered what viewers waited for. 1. Lee Gi Hwan finally confessed everything. One of the biggest moments in the finale was Lee Young-woo, also known as Lee Gi Hwan, finally confessing to all of his crimes. This included the 7th murder case and the murder of Yoon Hye Jin. Honestly, this scene felt both relieving and terrifying at the same time. For so long, the drama kept playing with viewers' emotions and making us question who was telling the truth. When Gi Hwan finally admitted everything, it felt like the entire story suddenly became heavier. What made this confession powerful wasn't just the truth itself, but the emotional damage left behind after years of lies. 2. Im Seok-man was proven innocent. After years of suffering, Im Seok-man finally received justice through a retrial and was declared innocent thanks to Gi Hwan's confession. I'm not gonna lie, this was probably one of the most emotionally satisfying parts of the ending for me. Watching someone falsely accused slowly regain their dignity was incredibly powerful. But at the same time, the drama reminds us that being declared innocent doesn't magically erase years of pain and lost time. That's what made this moment feel realistic instead of overly dramatic. 3. Seok-man reunited with his family. Another emotional resolution came when Seok-man finally reunited with his older sister and nephew, and honestly, this scene hurt more than I expected. Sometimes family reunion scenes in dramas feel overly sentimental, but here it felt earned. The silence, the awkwardness, the emotions they couldn't fully express, it all felt painfully human. I think the Scarecrow did a really good job showing that trauma doesn't disappear overnight, even after justice is finally served. 4. Gangseong Police corruption was exposed. One of the most shocking parts of the ending was the exposure of corruption inside the Gangseong Police Department. The drama revealed torture, manipulated investigations, and abuse of power that had been hidden for years. And honestly, this was one of the strongest themes throughout the entire series. The real horror in The Scarecrow was never just the serial killer. It was the system that protected lies while innocent people suffered. I actually think this is why the drama resonated with so many viewers emotionally. 5. Yoon Hye Jin's body was never found. Now this is where a lot of viewers became frustrated. Even though the truth about Yoon Hye Jin's murder was revealed, her body was never found until the very end. Personally, I understand why the writers chose this route, but I also understand why fans felt incomplete afterward. There's something deeply haunting about unresolved remains in crime dramas because it symbolizes a wound that can never fully close. And maybe that was the point. Some tragedies never truly end, even after the truth comes out. 6. Some criminals escaped punishment. Another controversial resolution was the fact that several people involved in manipulating Hye Jin's case escaped punishment because the statute of limitations had expired. Honestly, this made me angry in the best possible way. Not because the writing was bad, but because it felt unfairly realistic. Real life doesn't always give satisfying justice. Sometimes terrible people avoid consequences simply because the system fails. And I think the drama intentionally wanted viewers to feel uncomfortable about that reality. 7. Kang Tae Joo chose retirement. At the end of the story, Kang Tae Joo decided to retire as a profiler after completing his mission. This ending felt incredibly bittersweet. Instead of giving him a dramatic, heroic conclusion, the drama showed someone emotionally exhausted after carrying too much darkness for too long. And honestly, I loved that choice. Tae Joo didn't feel victorious. He felt tired, human, broken in a quiet way. That final decision perfectly matched the emotional tone of the entire drama. Overall, I think The Scarecrow delivered one of the most emotionally realistic endings we've seen in recent thriller K-dramas. It answered many major mysteries, but it also reminded viewers that truth alone cannot erase trauma, corruption, or emotional scars. Some fans wanted a cleaner and happier conclusion, while others appreciated how raw and uncomfortable the ending felt. Personally, I think the unfinished pain is exactly what makes this drama memorable. But now, I really want to know your opinion. Did The Scarecrow give a satisfying ending, or were there still too many unresolved frustrations for you? And honestly, could you forgive that final mystery about Yoon Hye Jin never being fully resolved?